Welcome students to our online classes. Myself Ashwini Honkarse is going to teach you the second lesson of standard 7th, nutrition in animals. So already we discussed about the lesson nutrition in plants. Now we are going to move towards nutrition in animals. So animal nutrition, as we studied, the mode of nutrition and utilization of food to the body is called as a nutrition. The mode of taking food by organism and its utilization in the of the body is called as a animal nutrition. So they depends directly or indirectly on plants and plant products. So not only we human being, almost all animals are depends on plants directly or indirectly. So this is the process of nutrition, that the taking of food, its utilization on the body is called as a nutrition. So now we are going to study about digestion. So digestion is the process. So when we eat the food, we can say that yes, our food will be digested in our stomach, right? So what process will be done in the stomach? The process of breakdown of complex food into simpler form is called as a digestion. What we can say? The process of breakdown of food, complex food into a simpler form is called as a digestion. So we can see here many animals are there. They can eat their food in different way and they can digest their food in different ways. Suppose snail, if you take, it will eat grass, and it is an insect, it will spracking. So like this many animals are there which can take their food and utilize it for their body. So next we are going to study about the process of human digestive system. So students, already we are familiar with the digestion process. How we are taking the food, plants, how much they are important, animals, how we are uh, carnivorous animals, that all we studied. So now we are going to study our internal part of the body, how they are working. So let us start one by one. It is our digestive system. If it is a human being body, and this is our digestive system. So you can see the many different parts of our body. So first of all, at the mouth, salivary glands are there, tongue, pharynx, esophagus. Then afterwards, esophagus pipe is there, then stomach, pancreas, small intestine. So many parts are there. So in that also, these involve in the process of digestion. These all involved in the process of digestion. So what we can say, digestion will starts from mouth and ends with the anus. So here we can take the food and it will ends at the anus. It involves buccal cavity, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus. So what it involve? Esophagus, mouth, first of all mouth, esophagus, then our stomach, then small intestine, big intestine, then rectum, then anus. The main glands are salivary glands, then liver, pancreas. So glands are those which secrete some enzymes. What they secrete? Enzymes, and that enzymes help us to digest our food. What are those? They will secrete some enzymes and they help us to digest our food. So all these glands together, all these parts of our body together, they call as a digestive system. Together they will call as a digestive system. So let us study how the food enter in our body, what will happen in each part of our body, and how will it will be utilized to our body. So first of all, the mouth and buccal cavity. So when the food starts, it will enter in our mouth. So first of all, what will happen when we will take the food inside? So teeth are there, tongue is there. So here the salivary glands are there. So when the food enter in our body, the teeth and tongue the teeth are help to chew the food, and tongue will help to mix the food properly with saliva. With saliva, where the saliva will secrete, it will secrete by salivary glands. So if you take teeth, we have four types of teeth. One is incisor, canine, premolar, and molar. Four types of teeth we have: incisor, canine, premolar, and molar. So these also doing particular work. They are doing particular work. Incisor helps to bite and cut the food. Incisors, so you can see the picture over here. Incisors are the front teeth. They help us to bite and cut our food. Canines are help us to perching and tearing the food. They help us in perching and tearing the food. Then premolar and molars, they help in chewing and grinding the food. They help in chewing and grinding the food. So totally in human beings commonly 32 teeth are present. It may differ from human to human, in small to big one, right? So in common we can say that different number of teeth are present in different way. So incisors at the lower jaw, upper jaw, in total how many they are present like this? All different types of teeth are present in different number in our mouth. So next, tongue. Just now we discussed that tongue, what the tongue will do. It will it will mix the saliva with the food and help to digest. Rather than that, tongue will help to taste the food. Tongue will help to taste the food. How? Because it contains taste buds. It contains taste buds, which are those sweet, salty, sour, and bitter. So these are the taste buds which help the food to be taste. We can feel the taste of the particular food. So next we are going to study about esophagus. What we are going to study? Esophagus. So esophagus, it is a pipe. It is a pipe-like structure which connects from our mouth up to the stomach. It connects from mouth up to the stomach. So it have a stretching capacity. It have a stretching capacity, and its movement, the stretching movement, help the food to be go up to the stomach. It will go up to the stomach. Next we are going to study about stomach. So stomach, when the food enter in the stomach, our digestion process will be start in the stomach. So what will happen there? The digestive juices will be secrete. What will secrete? The digestive juice will be secrete in the stomach. With that, the hydrochloric acid and mucus is secrete there. So what these three will do? Digestive juices, no doubt they will help the food to be digest. Hydrochloric acid. The hydrochloric acid will kill the bacteria which enter with our food. What the hydrochloric acid will do? They will kill the bacteria which enter with our food. And mucus it is a jelly like substance present in your layer of the stomach, and it will protect the wall of the stomach. Wall means the outer layer of the stomach. So next we are going to study about small intestine. So at when the juice will be secrete in the stomach, so most of the food will be digest. So here the food will be convert in the form of liquid. It will be convert in the form of liquid. So what will happen in the small intestine? Let us move towards the small intestine. So small intestine is a long pipe. It is very small, but it is very long pipe. It contain a hair-like structure inside it. It contain a hair-like structure inside it. And what that hair-like structure are called? They are called as a villi. What they are called as? They called as a villi. And that villi contain blood vessels inside it. What they contain? blood vessels inside it. So what will happen when food will digest in our stomach? It will enter in the small intestine. So in the small intestine, food will further digest and it will be absorbed with the help of these villi. It will absorb with the help of these villi. So the digested food which is absorbed by the villi, it contains blood vessels and it will transfer to all over our body. It will transfer to our all over body, right? And the undigested food, it will move towards the large intestine. Where it will move? It will move towards the large intestine. So what will happen in the large intestine? So in the large intestine, water and some salts are again absorbed. So what will happen? It will again absorb. Water and some salts will be absorbed in the small intestine. That's why the undigested food become very hard. It becomes very hard. Then it will be passed at the rectum and remains there as a feces. It remains there as a feces. So afterwards we are removing that from our body with the help of anus. With the help of anus. And this all process is called as a ingestion. Ingestion. What we will call it as ingestion. So next we are going to move towards the process of digestion in grass eating animals. So we human beings are not eating grass. Even though if we will eat, it will not digest with our stomach. We may feel stomach ache. We may feel what? Stomach ache. Then what is present in the grass eating animals that they can digest that grass? Let us see. So, a grass eating animals like this cow, they contain a rumen. They contain what? Rumen. So, when they will eat grass, that food will be enter in rumen. So, what will happen? That the uncutted food. Grass eating animals like cow and buffaloes quickly swallow the grass and store in its separate part of the stomach called rumen. They contain what? Rumen, and the uncut food, halfly chewed food will be enter in the rumen. So here the food is partially digested and is called as a cud. So what we will call it as cud. Then the cud is brought back to the mouth in small lumps and chewed. So this process is called as a rumination. When the food enter in the rumen and get back again in the mouth and that will be digested again. This is called as a rumination. The chewed food then pass into a sac-like a structure between a small intestine and a large intestine. The cellulose in the grass is digested with the help of some bacteria. So, the animal body contains some bacteria which help the grass of the as the food. Now, let us study about the process of digestion in amoeba. Digestion in amoeba. So, students, we already familiar how the structure of amoeba is present. It will look like this. It contains pseudopodia, cytoplasm, nucleus, cell membrane and cell vacuoles. Right. So, what will happen when the amoeba will identify the food? So, it enlarges its pseudopodia. You can see the structure here. The food it can identify, it enlarge its pseudopodia and take inside the food, and that food will be enter in a food vacuole. So it will be digest in the food vacuole. Understood how the amoeba will be take its food? So it not contain any digestive system, but it contain food vacuole which can able to digest its food. So now we are going to study about effect of saliva on starch. This is the activity which we are going to do. Effect of saliva on starch. So now we are going to take two test tubes. In that, one, some cooked food we are going to take, In one we are going to put as usual the food, another one, in another test tube we are going to put achieved cooked food. We are going to achieve that food and we are going to keep in a test tube. Now we are going to put 2 to 3 drops of iodine solution in both. So what will happen? The achieved food test tube color will be turned as a blue black and the unachieved food remains as it is. So it will indicate what? That food contain carbohydrates. It will contain carbohydrates, or we can say it contains starch and which convert into sugar. It contains starch. With the help of saliva it will convert into sugar. Thank you.